Hello and welcome to episode 2 of what I like to call Stories with Flex. This week's story is about Stanbury Manor in Cornwall. Let's delve into this one, make sure everything's nice and dark and you're ready. Stanbury Manor contains a chest that is thought to have come to this country from the Spanish Armada. The owner bought it from an antique shop and the proprietor was glad to get rid of it as he thought it was haunted. When the chest was taken to the manor, it was placed in the armoury, but only temporary. On the morning of the day following the delivery, the owner passing through the armoury saw 6 guns which were held to the wall with heavy wire fall to the floor. Neither the wire nor the fixings were broken. The chest was moved the same evening. The owner was in the adjacent room hanging pictures on the wall when one of them fell and struck him on the head. The picture was quite heavy, but there was virtually no force behind it when it hit him. The next day, 3 more pictures fell, followed by 4 more 2 days later. The last 4 were in the drawing room adjacent to the bedroom where the chest stood. The day after, another picture fell, and on none of these occasions were the wires or fixings damaged in any way. On hearing 2 days later the death of a relative, the owner thought there might have been a connection between this and the fallen pictures, as there were no further incidents in connection with the chest. The chest was once owned by 2 elderly ladies. Both were deaf and would communicate by writing notes. They kept themselves to themselves and were hardly known to their neighbours or to local people. They had amassed a large collection of furniture during their lives, and the curate went to look at the pieces the woman had put up for sale, but bought nothing as he saw the passing of notes very frustrating. He discovered that some time later the sisters had both been struck deaf one morning when they had been staying with friends. They had arrived late at night and gone straight to bed without unpacking. The next morning they woke, seeing the lid of the chest that was opening on its own accord. On looking into the chest they saw something so dreadful that they were both struck deaf on the spot. In another story, a surgeon in the Midlands went to stay with a friend and had a large cavern wood chest standing in the corner. His curiosity made him open the top of the chest and was confronted with the corpse of a man lying with his throat cut from ear to ear. In his shock, he let the lid of the chest fall closed, but on recovering his composure, reopened it to find the chest empty. The next morning, he mentioned the terrible experience to his host, who was astonished and told him that the previous occupant of the room had killed himself and the body had been in the chest covered in blood. Wow. Well, that's quite strange. We hear about items taking on possession and different things and cultures from around the world, Dybbuk boxes and just general possession. I find that quite crazy that the 2 sisters were struck deaf on the spot. I find it very hard to believe as well. I mean, there isn't much documented about this on the internet. There isn't a lot backing this up. But I mean, who knows, it could be completely legitimate. It just seems very crazy. But that aside, what a story. What a story. There's been many incidences reported of people buying haunted items and that said item plaguing the lives of the person that's bought it until they get rid of it. Some of them being trapped with whatever it is for many years. What do you think of that story? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if you know anyone that's ever been affected by anything like this. And if you have, I'd love to hear about it. You can send me your stories at our email address at flexurbanexploringafterdark@gmail.com, and I will be sure to list them in future episodes. Thanks a lot, and I will see you next time.